And so our unexpected journey begins. I've been threatening this for a while to open it up, and you know what? At the urging of a subscriber, we're going to do it. This is, as you can see, the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings starter kit. No surprises in here. That's why I debated even opening it for a long time, because you can look up the deck online and you know everything that is going to be in this kit. There's not anything to open really in terms of cracking a pack, but we're going to crack this box anyway and take a look at the cool stuff that's inside. This was a find on eBay, and I want to thank the guy who I got it from. You see here on the back, we've got equal detail about the cards. Experience the epic story of Lord of the Rings like you've never seen it before. Gear up for your first games with 2 Lord of the Rings themed decks with 4 rare cards and 1 foil mythic rare card, which you can see Aragorn and Arwen Wed, Sauron the Lidless Eye, and codes for you and a friend to receive them in Magic the Gathering Arena. Interactive online tutorial, etc., etc. 2 deck boxes, that's pretty nice, and a Magic play guide in case you haven't played before. What a way to get into Magic. You know, while we go through this, since there's not a lot in terms of surprises, nothing in terms of surprises, we'll talk a little bit about some of those things. But this was an eBay find. I got it for what I think is a really good price based on what I've seen online. The box is, you know, it's seen better days, but it's sealed, not for long. Let's go ahead and crack into it, and we'll talk a little bit about what's inside. Can't imagine, if you were new to Magic, a cooler way to get into it than a Lord of the Rings starter kit. Nice case, so you don't have to tear the box up too much. We'll get rid of that for now. Now we'll just put it up here. Slide that guy out. Got this little clamshell case, and okay, to build it yourself deck box. Well, it was like what, an MSRP of $20 starter kit when it came out, so I guess beggars can't be choosers. But that's when I think of deck boxes, that these cardboard things are not what I think of. Something a little nicer, but again, $20. Let's take a look through this Magic starter kit guide. I think the obvious thing with all the Universes Beyond stuff, all the licensed IPs, this is cool. This seems like a pretty accessible, pretty detailed guide to how to play Magic. I think the thing with the licensed IPs, look at that art, that's awesome, is, you know, catch some people who aren't already into the game. People that are buying Magic are either going to buy it or they're not going to buy it. But somebody who's never played Magic before, who really likes, what, Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, Fallout, Spider-Man, Doctor Who, you name it, if they like it, they might get them into playing it. And I, for one, obviously understand the marketing side of it, but I think that's awesome. I think that that's a, you know, really good way to catch new people who aren't into the game yet. And I know there are purists out there, this isn't real Magic. As many other people have said, if it's not your flavor of Magic, it's not your flavor of Magic, man. It's a game about goblins and dragons and shit. Okay, there's room for everything. And speaking of which, Aragorn and Arwen Wed, beautiful foil mythic rare. And I remember when they announced this set and this artwork, everybody was losing their mind. You know, what are you going to do? Some people just need to have something to be angry about. And I guess, you know, a card game. Anyway, we won't go into it now. That's a topic for another time. It's stupid. Here we go. We've got right on top, Frodo, Determined Hero. And this thing is, oh man, I don't want to have to expose everyone to the gloves. Okay, sorry about that. Had a bit of a mishap trying to open my desk to get a blade out so we could check this thing out. A Morgul blade, of course, to open this, crack this pack. Getting used to this new camera mount. But right off the top here, in case you didn't know what was already in this, we've got Frodo, Determined Hero as a rare, Gandalf the White Rider as a rare. Radical. Galadriel Gift Giver as a rare. We pulled a different Galadriel not long ago. Bilbo's Ring as a rare. And then Knight of the Keep. Different pile for these guys. 3 of those. Westfold Rider. Eastmark Cavalier. East Farthing Farmer. Couple Protectors of Gondor. Can never have too many of those, right? A Dunedain Blade. Second Breakfast. Rosie Cotton of South Lane in a different art than we've seen her before on here. Banishing Light. Doubled up on that. Landerville. Horizon Witness. Ah, a Bird Noble. Perhaps would fit it right at home with a Bloomburrow deck. You cannot pass. Kick ass artwork on that thing. And of course, I completely glossing over the art, incredible quotes from the book. You know, what are you going to do? If you like Lord of the Rings, you should just have this anyway, even if you don't play Magic. The Mushroom Watchdogs. Woes Pathfinder. Bag End Porter. Generous Ent. Some tree folk in there. Many Partings. Galadrim Bow. Mariadoc Brandybuck. And Peregrine Took right behind him. Stew the Conies. And Butterbur Innkeeper. The first foil card I pulled out of my first Lord of the Rings set booster pack. A couple Shire Terraces, a couple Grey Pelt Refuges, and a whole mess of forests and plains. Oh, and of course at the back, a couple food tokens, and handy dandy card again to remind you how to play. If you like the cards, if you like collecting the cards, if you like Lord of the Rings, I mean, look, what are you going to do? Bilbo's Ring, Galadriel, Gandalf, Frodo, Aragorn, Arwen. Like, it's worth the price of admission for the incredible artwork, the incredible, tribute to Lord of the Rings, this universe, this IPES that's given us all so much to enjoy. Look, as a consumer, I love this kind of thing. This is what I'm into. Let's get into Mordor. Now we have Sauron, the Lidless Eye. And that is perhaps, maybe next to that Galadriel or that Gandalf art, that is some of my favorite in the entire kit here. That is incredible. There is an eye in the dark tower that does not sleep. We could sit here and do our favorite impressions from the movies all we want. That's an incredible card. Pause one moment for station identification. Pause while we blade this thing open. Pack has been pierced by a mogul blade. It's one of my favorite lines in the film trilogy. Quick question before we get started. Does anybody think they're going to do a Hobbit version of this? I kind of wonder what they're waiting for. Seems like an obvious thing to me. Okay, so Gollum, Scheming Guide. I mean, you're going to make money off of it. Witch King, Bringer of Ruin. Love the fucking Witch King. Wraith Noble. That art is incredible. Fires of Mount Doom. Damn. And the Balrog, Flame of Udun. Pulled this in another pack. So I have seen that one before. It doesn't get any less enjoyable. All right, getting into the reds. Goblin Assailant. You got to have at least 3 of them. Easterling Vanguard. You got to have 2 of them. Feed the Swarm, 2. Dunland Crabine. There we go. Mordor Trebuchet. Love it, man. I wish they did more stuff like this. I really love it when they make like siege towers and catapults and ballistas and crazy stuff like that. Snarling Warg, Shelob's Ambush, Nasty End, Gothmog, Morgul Lieutenant, Voracious Fell Beast, Swarming of Moria, build some orcs up, Olog High Crusher, our troll soldier. Oh, we got a couple of them. Nice. The Oliphant. Oh, yeah. Got at least one of them in there. That is a big boy.
Now, Isildur, cast it into the fire.
No. Fire of Orthonk. Goblin losing control of the pack. Goblin Fire Leaper. Grishnok, Brash Instigator. Foray of Orcs. A couple Foray of Orcs. Mahur, Urukai Captain. We are the servants of Saruman the Wise, the White Hand, the hand that gives us man's flesh to eat. Ugluka the White Hand, I believe I have both of those already. Mind Stone, excellent. And all that text, man, all that flavor for this incredible set. When we start getting into some evolving wilds. 4 of them, play set of those. Kick-ass swamp. I didn't take time to appreciate our Shire and plains of, Gondor earlier, but we're definitely going to appreciate some swamps of Mordor here. Check it out. And there's going to be some kick-ass mountains. Boom. 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 It's just great, man. There's no need for it. The lands, obviously basic lands, they kind of just get overlooked, lost in the sauce of all the other stuff, the mechanics and the legendary cards and all the variants of things like hollows and showcases and et cetera, but the fact that every time they make a set of these cards, they switch up the 5 basic lands, always the same lands, just different artwork. Another testament to the greatness of Magic. Well, there you have it, folks. The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth starter play kit. One last look at the top shot there. Again, for the millionth time I've said it, no surprises in this thing. Nothing that you haven't seen before. Nothing that you couldn't have looked up online and went, But not quite the same thing as cracking a pack. But cracking some great Magic cards nonetheless, and you can never go wrong with Lord of the Rings, even if you do have to fold your own deck boxes. That's going to do it for today. Don't worry, this is not the last time we are going to crack into Lord of the Rings, or something that I consider very special. So stick around, keep the faith, stay on the road of cracking packs. Remember, what do we always say? Sealed packs are for cowards. Peace.